Hello everyone, welcome to our chess basics course, and today we're going to learn about the benefits of chess, the board, the pieces, and chess notation, the movement, the different parts of the chess game, and we also have the scoring. Okay, so first this is the board. This is our chessboard. So if you're going to look at our chessboard, we're going to remove first our pieces. Okay, so this is our board. This is a 64 squares. There are 64 squares. And if you're going to look at this one, we have here numbers 1 to 8 and the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this is our board, and take note when you're going to have this should be a dark square on the A1. Okay, so the board knowledge of board is very important because what is really important here is the location of the squares. So not all squares are created equal. So this is the area of white, while this one is the area of black. And the most important square is this one, these four squares. These are called central squares, and these are very important because the one who will control these squares would have a bigger space, and if you have bigger space you have bigger chances of winning. Okay, so we have to name now our square. Our square has a name. All these numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 are called ranks, while this letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are called files. So you can call this one as A file, this is B file, this is C file, D file, E file, F file, G file, and H file. And this is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5, rank 6, rank 7, rank 8. Combination of the what you call this one is a file, and the rank can produce a location name of a square. So this square is called A1, this one is B1, this one is B3. Knowledge of this is very important because in the tournament you are going to record your moves, so that is very important. Okay, so I want to ask you now, what is the name of this square? This one. Okay, if you answered D4, that is correct. This one, this is E5. This is E4. E4. You look at the file and also the rank. Combination of the file and the rank produce now the name of your square. Okay, so let's test. How about this one? What is the name of the square? Okay, if you said G1, that is correct. So you have to control this one. These four squares, these are very important. Okay, because the one who will control that square would have a bigger chance of winning the game. Okay, so let's proceed now to the name of the pieces. So first, this one, okay, so this one, this is king. So take a look at the king. It has a cross or a plus sign at the top. So that is our king. And you are going to place the king on E1. E1. That's the place of the king. Okay, so let's continue. So this is 1 is the queen, and the rule of thumb for that is queen on color. So if it's white, you put that on white. Okay, next to that is this one. Okay, the name of this one is Rook. This is Rook. So we're going to put here the Rook. There are 2 rooks in the game. So we're going to put the Rook at the rear. And then we have this one. This is called the bishop. So you put the bishop next to the queen and to the king. Okay, then the next one, this is, some call this as horse, but the correct term for this is knight. So you're going to put it here. Okay, so we now have our rook, knight, bishop, king, queen, bishop, knight, and rook. And in front of the pieces, major piece, are the pawns. So you're going to put the pawns there. Okay, so we have the pawns, and we're going to put the black also. So the rook, we're going to put the rook. Okay, then next to the rook are the 2 knights. Then we have the bishop. Then remember the rule, queen on color. So this is a black queen, therefore we're going to put it here. The next to that is the king. And then we're going to put now our pawns in front of the pieces. Okay, so you have now, this is now the complete setup. This is now the complete setup of our pieces. Okay, so let's proceed now to piece value. So for piece value, we are going to give scores for the piece. So this one is worth, the pawn is worth 1 point. Okay, so how many points is this? Yes, you're right, 1 point. This one, the knight, is scored as 2 points. So a knight could be equivalent to 2 pawns. Okay, then in other books, the knight and the bishop have the same points, 3, but in this case I use knight as 2 points because bishop is superior, especially in open positions, no, and in the end game, the knight. But there are some exceptions for that. So this one, this bishop is equivalent to 3 pawns. So the knight is equivalent to 2 pawns, the bishop 3 pawns, and the rook, this rook is equivalent to, you guess, equivalent to 5. It's equivalent to 5 pawns. Then we have the queen. The queen is equivalent to how many? The queen is equivalent to that pawns. You count the pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points. So a review, pawn is 1 point. The knight is 2 points. Bishop 3 points. Rook 5 points. The knight 9 points. So why these values are important? These values are very important because you are going to compare. Let's say for example you sacrifice your bishop with 3 pawns. So if you sacrifice your bishop, then you get 3 pawns. Okay, you sacrifice your bishop and then you get 3 pawns. That is even. Why? Because bishop is equivalent to 3 pawns. Okay, and if you ask what's the value of the king, the value of the king is very valuable because if this king will be mated, the game is over. That's it. Okay, so by the way, I'd like to ask you why you really need to learn chess. So you really need to learn chess because you can learn according to YesSir01. You can develop your 5 R's here. So you have the first R, reading. You're going to read because you need to study books. When you're going to study books, therefore you're going to read. Next is writing. Since we have our notation, in tournaments you have to write. So therefore you develop your writing skills. Next R would be arithmetic. Since we know the different values there of the pieces, so what happened there is that you know how to add, how to subtract. That's it. And then next is responsibility. So you learn responsibility by studying chess. So it is your responsibility to do the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. And lastly, you will learn about reasoning, which is very important for critical thinking. Why do you need to sacrifice your bishop against the 3 pawns? So it's logical because you will 3 pawns is just equivalent to 1 bishop. Okay, so that's it. So it's very important that you know how to play chess. It can improve your thinking with the game of the chess. So let's continue now about let's say for example, let's proceed now the movements, the notation. So when you're going to write this one, this is Rook A1. Rook A1. So you're going to write capital letter R and then small letter A, the number 1. That's Rook A1. Okay, and this one, how about this one? What is this? This knight. Okay, this is knight. Okay, C, then the number here 3, knight C3. So that's it. It is very important to know about those moves, how to write, because you will use that in the tournament. Okay, how about this one? What is this? Okay, so you look at the file, so it's an A, and then the rank is 4. And what's the name of the piece? Yes, it's correct, it's bishop. So you write capital letter B, A4, bishop A4. Okay, so right now we're going to study the movements of the pieces. So let's start with the rook. The movement of the rook is something like that. It can move like that. Okay, it can move on the ranks and files. So it can move in the A file and also in the rank 1. Okay, see the power? That's the power of the rook. Okay, then let's proceed now with the move of the bishop. Okay, the move of the bishop is diagonal, something like that. Okay, that's the move of the bishop. Okay, if you're going to put your bishop in the center, it has many moves. Okay, so that is why it's better to put your bishop in the center, especially in game. Usually in the opening, it can be put here. Okay, so the bishop moves in diagonal. Let's proceed now to the queen. The movement of the queen is similar to the rook and the bishop. Therefore, it can move like a rook and can also move like a bishop. That's why this is the most powerful piece. And sometimes most of the beginners usually get the queen out early in the game. Okay, because of the power of the queen. Okay, let's proceed now to the king. The move of the king is only one move. Can move like that. Only one move. That's the move of the king. Okay, then we have the knight. The move of the knight is letter L. So like something like that. You move. Okay. So it's better to put your knight in the center, towards the center. Do not put your knight at the edge because it has only few movements. I guess here it has only 4 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Compared to this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you have there 8. So that's it. That's the move of the knight. It's letter L. Okay, then next is the pawn. The move of the pawn is one move. It can move at the beginning only one, or it can move 2 squares. That's the move of the pawn. And capture, the pawn can capture sideways like that. Okay, there are other cases wherein the pawn can move here and this pawn can capture that pawn. That is called in passant. Usually we call that as pass pawn, but it's not correct, no, to call that as a pass pawn. Usually that's what we learned before, but the correct term there is in passant. Pass pawn is a pawn wherein there's no opposite pawn on that particular path. Like for example, this one, it can move freely, so that is a pass pawn. If there's a pawn here, you cannot call this one as a pass pawn because there's a counter on that particular square. Okay, I think we covered all of the movements, and I hope you learned something today about chess. So thank you very much for watching. See you in our next tutorial about chess. I hope right now you know already how to set up your chessboard, and I hope to see you in our next tutorial about chess. Thank you very much for watching. This is SirParts Online. Thank you very much and good day everyone.